Thing on?
I am
Whatever you say I am.
a guy from a place. Charm City Bipper. Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name my mama gave me. I'm here with an individual, um, Scotty, Banx, Stefan, don't call him Urkel, um, Mr. Get Busy, Mr. Behind the Boards, Mr. Sauced Up, Mr. Witch Girl in the Shadow. No, I mean, Mr. 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 Learn 70 skills in the summer. Mr. got 7 mixtapes. After the 7 he dropped. Mr. 777. Mr. knew about angel numbers. Mr. did real estate first. Mr. I sold car.
Yeah, Mr. God.
Hustle, man. Bro.
Jesus.
I got a guy that deserves flowers.
Man,
That don't give them
appreciate
to herself. But that's why I'm here. That's why City's here. That's why Chris Cash is here, John Wells, all these brothers you see making moves, have a foundation or a story about this man, and he forgets that. So I'm here to remind him that the moment don't mean nothing but what it is. Cause what's in you, it is what it is. Like what's in us. The outside ain't always going to define what's in us. This is what I say. Like
Right.
you know, we used to eat the oodles and noodles and had the Kool-Aid. That didn't define what was in us.
Right.
There might have been lead water going in the body, but the spirit ain't got nothing to do with lead water.
Right.
So I'm here with a brother who's awesome individual, Scotty Banx.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. That was the best intro I ever got in my life.
Turn it up.
Might have to make that a mixtape intro. Sheesh.
Like I'm gonna clean it up. Real talk, bro. Like I've never met anybody that has committed to as many things as you have. And a lot of times because outcomes don't show what our vision is, we like, I ain't really do that. Like, no, you did it. I'm just trying to recreate blueprint like what you did kind of. you like, yeah, I'm just looking at these boards. I just happen to be recreating every hit song in reels and posting them. And like I think the wilder part is in social media land and in this present day era, people look at things and don't understand the value of them until it's officiated.
Right.
And it's like it don't got to be officiated for me to show love for it.
Right.
So it's like you are doing things that majors are doing. It's just we don't get to call it what it is until they want to validate it through the socials. But it's like we done seen behind the scenes. He's like, that brother's starving. That brother got a chain on that's heavier than him.
Yeah, that's facts.
Because his spirit is dead. So
facts.
like I said, it's just a lot I be sitting with, a lot that I'm observing. You are too. And that's why you learn so much. Observing, you know, like peeping out things, learning through watching.
Yeah.
I said a lot. I want this brother to introduce himself, say some things about himself.
Sheesh. I mean, bro, you done laid out my whole life story. I mean, good Lord. You know, everything he said. I'm somebody that you know, bro, you know how I was always saying, like, I'm trying to figure out who I make music for. Bro, I make music for black men that think they can do anything they want to. Cause like, that's me.
That's a part. That's a part.
You feel me? Like, so I've been on that wave lately of like, stop trying to box myself in and understand that I'm the person that's gonna show people you don't need a box.
That's the part.
You know what I mean? Like, because I ask people all the time, like, hey, you know, you think I could do this? And like I realized I was low key looking for validation for my own vision. And it's like, bro, God gave you the vision because it's yours. You know what I mean? Like other people not gonna understand because they're not supposed to. Like it's just not what's supposed to happen. And like I be thinking, because like you said, I try a lot of things, but these are things that come organic to me. Like if I woke up tomorrow saying like, yo, I want to be a fashion designer, that's a reach. That's an extreme reach. Like, nah, I can't, no.
But it's possible. And
Yeah.
and the thing that's making it possible is work ethic.
Yeah.
It's curiosity.
Yeah, for sure.
It's that thing that's like, what's making that tick?
For sure.
Like I think I'm probably me and you and a couple other guys we know are probably like the 1 to 6 that take the iPhone apart just to see what's inside.
Right,
Like, I
right,
wonder how big the battery is. Like,
right,
so
right.
it's that part that takes it further. And what is interesting is as you do it, it defines itself.
Yeah,
So it's like, don't always start out with I need it to be
right,
definite.
right,
That's the part that gets so murky.
right.
Like, uh, who is it? Teddy Riley doesn't know he's doing New Jack Swing until 20 years later.
Right,
You don't get to call it something until after the
right.
fact.
Yeah.
So nah, I gotta switch it up. It'd be too cold. I was I mean it'd be too cold with the AC now, it's not hot enough. But
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about that part, like you don't know what it is until the moment's gone. And
yeah,
trying to define it in the moment makes it more difficult to do the thing that you're doing.
yeah,
So it's just so cyclical. It's
yeah,
always coming back. It's completing itself.
yeah.
But
Let me reply to the missus real
do
quick.
what you got to do. Black men love their women. That's a fact. It's a fact. And just building community.
Yeah.
Um,
But I wanted to speak on the thing you said earlier about the commitment thing. So, as I had this revelation, it wasn't no revelation. I've been thinking this for a minute, but it's like I was able to commit to all of those things realistically out of insecurity that the one thing I wanted to commit to was too far fetched, which is music, which is
mm,
ironic because every person I ever met in my life was like, "Hey, music is your thing." Like I, I've never met a person that didn't say, "Yo, you belong doing music." Like
mm,
the other day, um, I was working on music with one of my old managers from the dealership. So it's like it's crazy that people you meet along the way will say like, "All right, you don't belong here. Do that." So now I got a manager that had me on payroll at a dealership. Like, nah, I'm willing to pay you to do this music for me. Like, make this
yep,
beat, write my song, and record me, and I got you. So it's like it's wild when people see what you don't see in yourself or don't believe about yourself sometimes. And sometimes you just gotta believe what people say. Like I had a lot of limiting beliefs, but like I said, now though, I just make stuff for people that believe they can do anything.
that's the
Like
part.
like it's don't run from your destiny, you know what I mean? Because it's gonna track you down no matter what. You can't escape that. Like if I was in church the other day for the first time in 3 years, right? And
Clap up for that.
and
I'm gonna have to add that part.
but yeah, I'm in church for the first time in 3 years because I was kind of in a pretty like dark place. Because like, bro, I had a whole like identity crisis back in December.
Mhm.
I'm like, man, I don't know who I want to be. Like, do I just want to leave music alone and be an electrical engineer? Like, bro, like, do I want to be an architect? Like, my mind was going all over the place. But fast forward, I was in a dark space or whatever. Then Sunday comes that just passed, and I go in church, and like the thing that stuck out the most was in the sermon. They said, a bird is its happiest when it's flying, not when it's walking around, because
Mm,
we are all the happiest when we do what God made us to do. And the overarching theme was that we supposed to trust and obey God. And I'm like, man, you know, I say I've been, but have I really? Like, have I really kept the faith? No. Because had
mm,
I kept the faith, I wouldn't have been tripping and I wouldn't have had what I got 200 plus songs on my laptop
mm,
that's unreleased, you know.
mm.
So that's why in the beginning of the year, on like January 1st, I'm like, whatever. And I dropped 15 songs. It was originally 50 songs, but I'm like, all right, I don't want to pay for all these beats right now because that's a
No,
lot of
that's
money.
yeah,
Like
sure.
that's OD. That's like probably like
Yeah,
$5,000.
yeah.
So
Been there, done that. Slightly,
yeah, so
slightly.
so it's like, all right, well, that's another thing I
Mm,
had to learn. Like, let's pace things out because I'm the
mm.
kind of person that I want it all right now in a lump sum, or I don't want it at all. But that's not how progress is made, and it's more fun to see the progress as you go and like document your journey. Which is why, like, bro, when you sent me that video I made, oh. For you guys that don't know, what I do is like instead of journaling, like I'm writing a journal when I can remember to, but I tried to do like video journals of myself, just saying what's going on in my life at the time with like a timestamp on it, so I can know how I was feeling, what day it was, and what was going on in my life. So yesterday my name got mentioned in Rolling Stone magazine because my bro John Wells, who I started off with, he got his own article in Rolling Stone magazine, which like
Major
blew my
blessing.
mind. And I didn't even know I was gonna be in it, but it was like, wow, that's cool. So
Mhm.
then when I sent it to this man, he sent me a video I made back in 2021, and he was like, "You remember who this is?" And I'm like, "Whoa," because the premise of that video was me saying like I'm not gonna be depressed about what happened in 2020 on that day, and I'm not
Mm.
gonna keep tripping off the past. I'm gonna make new memories, make better memories, and when I look back on my life, I'm gonna say, damn, I did that shit. And now, even looking back on that video from 2 years ago, I'm like, damn, I did that shit. So,
Real shit.
it's
Mhm.
it's a blessing, man, to
Amazing.
be able to see that the one thing you always wanted to commit to has been unfolding for the longest time, and all you had to do was stop trying to commit to all these other things. It's like having a wife but keep trying to have a bunch of side bitches. And it's like
That
and
boy, let him go.
and
Let
it's,
them be.
and it's like because at the end of the day, your wife is gonna hold you down and be loyal. The side bitch is gonna come and go, bro. And like
Yes.
everything I've tried other than music has been nothing but a side bitch. Like
Now this is what's special. I'm gonna lean into that
okay,
because you had a lot in there. I'm
okay,
gonna lean. I felt the vision part early too, because when you get the vision, you have such a high energy.
right,
But the vision be like, damn, it's
right,
crystal clear.
right,
It's like coming back from a movie.
right,
You just seen this movie.
right,
Yo, y'all gotta go see this movie. It was this, it was that. It was like you trying to describe it.
right.
They can't know until they go feel it. So
That's a
we
bar.
gotta go make the movie.
That's a bar.
That's
That's a
what this has
bar.
been.
That's a bar. Write that down. That's a bar.
This was my vision.
Mm-hmm.
I was this thing, y'all gotta.
Mm.
I couldn't. I
Yeah.
had to take them to the movies.
Yeah.
So that's where we at in
Yeah.
this era. That's one of them. Then with the side pieces, I learned
Mhm.
everything from my side pieces. Shout out to little Keisha May, Hattie Dang.
Bro.
But shout out to all of the side pieces along the journey because that's the bigger part.
Literally and metaphorically.
It's like, bro, when you sit with it, it's all for your betterment.
Yep.
Every part. I
Yep.
mean, I laugh at I was talking to City about this.
Mhm.
It's not losses, it's lessons.
Yeah.
I take a lot of L's. I take a lot of lessons.
Yep.
So it's like I got hit in the head with a brick. I got
Mhm.
punched in the stomach when I was young.
Mhm.
I got banked in high school. I was depressed. I was already writing poetry.
Mhm.
Everything. I lost a friend to cancer. I had my own mental health crisis. Like
Yeah.
everything was for my betterment, and everything taught me something about myself. So it was like in these moments, even career wise, started out in a basement of the library with dusty books.
Yeah.
Worked my way up to the checkout.
Yeah.
Now I'm checking books out. Worked
Yeah.
my way up to inputting information in the computer about each client. Worked
Yeah.
my way up to being in the tech part of the library. So
Yeah.
now fixing the printers that they were having issues with, fixing the PCs, setting the
Yeah.
PCs up. Work my way out of that
Yep.
into teaching, take all of the skills I've ever had into the school
Exactly.
building to influence the
Exactly.
kids, learn to speak because now I'm commanding the classroom. Take my
Exactly.
speaking skills to communicate it through this. Take
Exactly.
and it's like it all builds on itself, and it's like that's why this is called a guy from a place,
Mhm.
because a guy from a place can do anything.
Right.
Or like the Florida man, but I ain't going to that. You ain't gonna hear a guy from the place,
Nah,
but
yeah.
it's that part and so much more. But like I said, everything you've done has been to your betterment because there's not a lot of rappers who gonna have the experiences you have. This man got a tech mixtape. He got network. Uh, he got network bars. He got
Yeah.
networking bars, and it's like it's wild because comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
If we are to compare to what's been done, we are never going to be satisfied because
Right.
we'll never meet that standard. But
Right.
if we compare ourselves to the person we were before and to the reality that this is very novel, this is a
Mhm.
very novel idea.
Yeah.
People are used to seeing this format. They have some conception of it, but it hasn't been done in this way.
Right.
It's probably dudes talking about something that isn't this.
Right.
People are used to a podcast. They expect for black men to get on a podcast and say, "Man, I'm tired of these women, man. These women, man. I'm not getting on my podcast and disrespecting black women." I mean, if it gets to that point, I'll hand the mics over. I'll just say, Scotty, come take the mic.
Can't go like that.
So,
bro.
I'm not disrespecting the community that made me.
Right.
I'm not disrespecting any of that. And it's all a self thing.
Yep.
When my life is in a bad place, what you doing, Marquis?
Right.
What you doing, brother?
Right.
Look at yourself. Go sit by yourself. Shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Because there's something talking to you. You just not tuning in.
And it's like, you gotta be willing to look in the mirror.
Ugh.
Like, you gotta be willing to, like, metaphorically, I mean, if you want to do it literally, but you gotta be willing to get naked and look in the mirror. Like,
Mirror
bro,
Talk, C Boogie Productions.
like-
Look up that book. I might have to link it.
that,
That brother really put a book out like that, though.
but you gotta just be like, bro, am I really my best self right now, or am I able to put on an image of what I want people to think is my best self right now? And so, like, I had that discussion with my girl too. I'm like, yo, I really have been out here running circles around people, only giving 30% of what I can really do. So if I ever gave 100%, it's up. Because like, when you go back to the whole skills thing, right? Like, my jobs, I mean, of course, I've had manual labor jobs, but my first job selling shoes. After like the warehouse situation, I'm selling cars. After that, selling houses. After that, I get into the technical space. Okay, cool. So now I have a load of sales skills that was able to get me to sell myself to get into a technology field when I had zero experience in that.
Like that.
And now I get into the technology field and I realize that one of my skills I have there is communication, because there's not a lot of people that can communicate well in that field. And so now I'm like, okay, I can communicate, I can sell things, I can get anybody to, mess with me as far as the music goes, because clearly if I can do all this, I have a, decent personality. Like, it gotta be something there that's making me win like this. And so kind of like, okay, well, that's one of my strengths. Let's, start pushing that to the limit. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. Like, just step out of my box more, because me, I can be kind of closed off. So it's like I'm trying to stop being Batman, bro.
I say, more than anything, sit with what you want.
Yeah.
And just be honest with it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I keep coming back to this. And it was some good game. They were like, if I gave you $1 million, would you be happy? Like, of course. I gave you 10 million, would you be happy? Yeah, I'd be happy. Could anybody do anything to make you sad? I got $10 million. So, okay. You don't wake up tomorrow after I give you the 10 million.
I did see that, yeah.
So it's like, if not waking up is that detrimental, that means waking up is worth more than $10 million.
Yeah.
So if I recognize that time is truly my only asset,
Yep.
I just told somebody yesterday, 35 is middle age.
Yeah.
40 is middle age. That's uncomfortable for somebody, but it's a statement that's true. If you make it to 80, you did something right.
Yeah.
Right? If you make it to 70, you did something right. I know people checking out.
Yeah.
I know of people who checked out before 60, right? So it's like, if that's middle age, I'm almost there.
Bro, we know people that checked out before 30, like, mentally. Like,
That part.
It's people that, they living, but they're not alive. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, because it's so easy to get caught up in that trap, because life is stressful, bro. Like, this life don't play with nobody, man. So it's not like I can say, like, oh yeah, they wasn't grinding hard enough, they was lazy and distracted.
Now I'm gonna give you this, because this is what I be sitting with lately. Power words. Life is easy. All of this works for my betterment. And it's wild, and it be feeling so whatever. And I ain't gonna say what it could feel like, because I believe it feels good. It feels great to speak life over the people in this space. It feels great to speak life over myself. And I seen the benefit of it. the shift in perspective is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
This is an abundant space.
Mm-hmm.
I could stare at that dumpster and just, it's so filthy, so nasty. I could
Mm-hmm.
just look at something else.
You
And
got a point.
it's like, I was, bro, I've been outside in our city and
Mm-hmm.
meeting some people that do things that I'd expect. Like, I would expect them to be in Cali. I would expect
Yeah.
them to be in these places I saw in movies.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you created a code that makes bots for Instagram, and
Yeah.
you just at this random gym in Baltimore. I know it's like a hoity-toity gym. I know it's bread. Like, I
Yeah.
pay a lot to be in this gym, but
Yeah.
you do that? Oh, I just got these calluses on my hand, and you a doctor, bro?
Right,
Like,
right.
you a surgeon, and you
Right.
looking at my hand telling me what to do?
Right.
Like that simple? Like,
Yeah.
meeting shorties, that's like, I told you, the Harvard that
Yeah,
happened to be a
that
bar. I keep bringing it up because it's so random, but it's like,
ish.
right? But these moments, they came from not putting certain words out.
So with that being said, because like, you know, as far as the shifting perspective thing,
Mm.
you want to know why you should look forward to being able to fail? You know what fail stands for, bro? And I gotta get this trademark because this about to do numbers.
Let's go.
Fail stands for finished another important lesson. You understand what I'm saying? It's a bar right there.
God
Write
body
that
right there.
down.
Like, I'm
But
shout out Mike Rashid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right there. Salute to
but
the yeah.
but you know, I've been
Finish
thinking,
another important lesson.
yeah,
I'm
finish
gonna have to spell that out for for my special friend.
but you know, I've been thinking that for the
I need to
longest,
spell
like,
out
bro.
myself.
I've been thinking like, bro, like, what can I turn this into? And it's like, you know, you finished another important lesson. Like, learn from it and don't do it again. I mean,
Yeah,
if you can prevent it, of
yeah,
course,
of course.
some things just happen.
Mm.
But yeah, so like you said, change your perspective on things. I'm still working on, changing the way I word things. And I read that in the Four Agreements, which is be impeccable
Be
with your
impeccable with your
word,
word. In fact, that was
like
one of the biggest ones.
yeah, that
Mm.
and don't take anything personal because me, like me, my temper is like,
Oh,
and it's crazy because if you meet me, I'm extremely laid back. Like, nobody would think like, hey,
but
but
that's the mask,
it's so
and that's the part. That's
so like the thing is, it's like like I got a long fuse until you mess with somebody that's important to me. Once that happens, boom, like it's over. Like I'm not gonna say who, but like I'm extremely protective over my friends, and like it was a situation I think like 1 or 2 years ago where something happened with John Wells, and like I got pissed about it, and he wasn't even tripping, but I'm like, nah, bro, like
mm,
nah, I'm about, you know what I mean? And he
mm,
like, yo, chill out, it's not that serious. But it's just like when, you know, I don't have a lot of people in my life that I consider like close or like, that people that I really have a genuine love for outside of my family, you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
when I do find those people, I can't let nobody play with them because, bro, you're not about to disrespect some of the most important stuff in my life. Nah, it's not gonna happen.
Mm-mm.
But other than that, I'm cool, Like I'm
Yeah.
not running around looking for problems, but when they come, I'm not backing down from nothing. Like my mother always trips because like it was a side of me she didn't even know I was like that until one day
Mm,
somebody like just for context, my father got shot when I was 9, so he has a bad leg, can't move real fast. So somebody hit my father's car back in 2017 and like basically totaled it but tried to drive off. And as
mm,
soon as I heard the noise, like I ran from my room, which is third floor in the back of the house, out the front door and literally chased this man down and caught him at the light. I'm chasing him on foot, not in the car. Caught him at the light, pulled him out of his car, and was like, "Nah, we about to figure this out."
no,
And like
yeah.
my mother was just like in shock because she's like I said, like I'm super laid back and super quiet, so she didn't know that was in me. And I try not to bring that out because once I take it there and that switch get flipped,
This is what's
You
so
know?
powerful about what you're saying. That's what's lying dormant in all creators. And
Yeah.
people don't always understand that this creative energy manifests itself in many different ways.
Yeah.
I had anger problems to the point where I black out, I come to, and they like, you did this, that, and that. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
So it's like that same energy that was doing destruction is what
Yeah.
builds this positivity.
Yeah.
But it's like finding ways to honor it and
Hmm.
like not ignore your shadow.
Right.
So that's why I said sometimes it's a mask because we want to tuck it away. Like
Hmm.
Naruto, Nine Tails Fox type energy. Like, any great hero has that shadow.
Yeah.
Like it has that part of them that's like, yo, I will end all of this with a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
Like it's cute. Like, and like I said, I got another side too, but it's like I'm very conscious of what it needs. It
Yeah.
needs to understand, okay, it's not we not disrespected.
Right.
Nobody's harmed.
Right.
What are the brass tacks?
Right.
Because there was a point where he said, "What about my mother?"
Yeah.
It was like you walking too close, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's just these little things that
Yeah.
once that discomfort is that fight or flight, but it
And
was a lot more just
like speaking on that, like as I get
crazy.
older, I'm like, yo, it's probably not the smartest idea to run up on somebody's car and pull the door open. It might, you know, it might end up somewhere you don't want to be. You know what I mean?
I'm here a little early, ain't I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like
Mm.
it's it's
Mm,
interesting though because I learned that. I'm gonna give you a situation that happened. I don't even know if I told you about this, but like last month, bro. I'm at the bank last month, like broad daylight at the ATM machine,
mm,
and I'm putting, my money in, and this kid, all kids in Baltimore wear ski masks. So I'm like, all right,
mm,
whatever. So it's a kid at the corner, maybe like 20 feet from where I'm at. I'm like, all right, this might end up stupid, but I always go to the walk up ATM machine and I leave the card behind me just in case something stupid happens. So
mm,
I'm at the ATM machine. He clearly sees me put my money in. Walk up like, yeah, yo, this one working. So I'm like, I don't know, cause clearly you asking a dumbass question. So
yeah,
now I don't know if it's working, dickhead.
yeah.
So he goes to the ATM next to me to the right and I don't hear any buttons being pushed or anything. So I'm like, yeah, some dumb shit about to happen. So I put in one of my $100. Matter of fact, no, I put in $200. One of the $100 bills didn't go in. I'm like, all right, before I try to do this again, and he, comes from behind me, let me just put this shit in my pocket and go ahead to the car.
Mm,
I turn around, right? And put the money in my pocket. And I don't know if this was like, baby's first robbery type shit, but it's like
mm,
this motherfucker was like, yeah, let me see that. So I'm like, what? He like, yeah, bro, you owe me that money, yo, let me get that. So I'm like
mm.
in my head, I'm like, wait, is this little motherfucker serious? So then he get close, like, bro, give me that. So I'm like, man, fuck out of here, bitch. And like, like I said,
It was
had
all.
I had I had my old mentality, I would have took it there. But you never know if he had a gun on him, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me just get in the car. So I get in the car. He try to pull the door, and I just drive off, like, yo, whatever. But I'm heated the whole fucking drive home because it's like, yo, I got disrespected, but at the same time, I'm still alive.
That's the
You know what I
part.
mean? Like
That's
it's
some
like the shit
bullshit
could
for
have
sure.
went way worse. So I'm still alive, and on top of that, he didn't get none of my money. This motherfucker tried to rob me, but
Mm.
he didn't get nothing. So it's like, all right, that's two wins right there. It's just that shit was mainly just an inconvenience at this point.
Yeah.
But
This is simply put, try not to curse on this. It's
my
fucked up.
bad.
No, you good. It's fucked up. And that's the part of the city that is unfortunate.
Hmm.
And it's wild because people like, yo, they're just young dudes. It's like, bro, what you walking around with a ski mask for at 4:30 in the afternoon, bro?
At a bank.
And the sun out. Like everybody got a damn ski mask on. And it's like you confused at why people don't feel safe around you.
Right.
I don't know who you are.
Right.
Like it used to be a point where um you could get away with crime without a ski mask,
Right.
right? Because people still don't know who you are, but at
Right.
least we have a reference. Like at
Right.
least we give you the trust up front. You start off with a ski mask, bro.
Right. And
Like make it
so
make sense.
so my thing is, I'm like, maybe it's because I like, just came from work and you see a guy with glasses, whatever. But the
Yeah,
same way I said I gotta think about stuff, what if I had a gun on me and just like had a bad day and
lit
wasn't
him up.
going for
That's
nothing?
the part.
You know what
That's
I
the
mean?
part.
Because first of all, he was out there by himself. He didn't know who I was with. Like, it could have got terrible. And on top of that, bro, it was a packed parking lot. Like, it was people walking around in the parking lot. So, like, when they seen the whole thing with him trying to open the door and I pulled off, I went home and I'm like, all right, yo, I tell my pops, like, yo, look, he gotta go back around there. He like, all right, let's go. So we go
Mhm,
back around there, but at the time we got back around there, the sheriff was at the bank and like the parking lot was empty. So I'm like, all right, somebody that's seen everything must have called
mhm.
and told him what happened. But bro, and that's probably for the best, because if you think like if my temper's short, my father must not even
Yeah.
like he just done like
It's wild though, cause my pops is in the military,
mm-hmm,
so it's like my dad and my grandfather, but like real quiet. Man. Like my grandfather on my mother's side and my father just real reserved somewhat. My dad can be
yeah,
loud and like out there, extroverted and everything, but like when it come down to like panic situations, he
yeah,
the one that's like just chill out. We ain't
yeah,
doing all that.
yeah,
So I had that naturally in some ways. It is like a lot of emotion that you gotta really tame
yeah,
because that's a wave
yeah,
that'll come down hard. And um I hate that that happened.
yeah,
Because it is a poor reflection of a lot of things.
yeah, for
And this is
sure.
back to what I spoke on that with D and Maya. We did a conversation about real estate in the country, in the city, and just like a lot of issues is based on breakdowns in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you trying to rob somebody at ATM? Like, what sense do that make? Like, bro, like I'm lost. Like, even jacking cars, I'm like, bro, what are y'all on? Like, y'all picking up the video game and then just doing things that don't make sense. It's like I understand not having a constructive outlet, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not what's gonna bring it to you.
Right,
Like more negativity is gonna beget more negative. Like it's gonna
right,
just bring more negativity. So even politically, they're like, maybe we need to lock these things down more, and then maybe they'll make up a law where it's like any dude in the ski mask automatically has to be stopped and searched.
right,
Like these different things that are brought upon us because of backwards mentalities.
right.
I'm trying my best to not just leave the city, and like go somewhere else.
Yeah,
And that's been a feeling lately. Like I really need some distance from it
yeah,
because sometimes you got to leave things you love and come back in a different form or just whatever. But it's like, what are we to do about this? This is a thing that's too common, and it's like I get irritated by people that try to make it make sense. You know, like
yeah.
when cigarette smoke was a thing, it's like, oh, yeah, we used to it. Did it make it right? It's like, does it make it right that we know it's carcinogens next to this
Right,
baby?
right,
Oh, I mean, people get robbed.
right.
No, like what? Like people get robbed?
Right.
Yeah, people be dying every day. It's like, yeah, of a lot of different things. But like, we're not speeding up the process. Bro was
Right,
25. Like, what do
right,
you mean dying every day?
right. Nah, for
What are we
sure,
talking about?
for
So I
sure.
just get irritated by um these cyclical things. Like this is it's just stupid on stupid. But I'm grateful that you're here to tell the story. I'm grateful you were willing to share it. And anybody that can do something about that type of thing and you watching, figure out a way to like talk to
Yeah,
some of these guys. If you got a son that's wearing a ski mask, tell him stop wearing it, bro. Like, what
yeah,
did you? It don't be that cold out here.
yeah.
Like, just let your face be ashy again. Like,
You know, it's and like to go like to the topic of not leaving the city, as far as like wanting to help, I used to never understand why there was different ranks in the military or like in kingdoms. Like, okay, why is the king,
mhm,
sending soldiers out there to fight his battle?
mhm,
But if the king goes out to defend everything and gets killed in battle, who can help after that?
that's the
You
part.
know what I mean? They can't enforce policies. They can't, have a contingency plan because then what? You know what I mean? Like he got chosen to be king or president or general, whatever, for a reason. And
Mhm,
even the guy that comes after him might have a terrible vision for things. So my thing is,
Smart.
you know, it'll be great to stay here and fix things, but we got to look at Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle, uh, who else? I mean, really
On the
any
highest,
bro.
on God, I sit with that in so many ways because the backwards mentality and what has kept our community stuck is
Yeah,
putting our kings on the front line.
yeah,
What sense do that make?
none.
And it's like dudes be like, yeah, he's standing in front of us. Yeah, he the first one to get hit.
Yeah,
Like, what are you talking about?
like I never understood why rappers, praised calling themselves a soldier or a goon. Like, bro, that mean you
Mm,
getting smoked first. You know what I mean? And like, I it's something I try to refrain from because I used to do it when I was younger. Is
mm.
like call myself a boss, but like I try not to even use that term anymore because I'm a leader, not a boss.
Leaders,
Like
absolutely.
even the fact that I just said, like, the king doesn't go with the soldiers, but and when it comes to, like, the overall mission, I'm working with you. You don't work for me, but it's just that we all got to play our positions properly. But nobody is above or below
That's
anybody.
the part.
It's just that everybody understands their position and how they bring value to the mission. So, like I
Yeah,
said, like it would be great if I could be honest and say like, yeah, man, I'm gonna stay in the city and do my thing, Malcolm X style. No, because that's another person that got killed where they was trying to help at, like,
he did some amazing feats, and that's
and
the part. Like I pattern a lot. I've got a lot of light from individuals who made massive accomplishments.
and not to cut you off, but
Good.
that's somebody I look up to as well because of the fact that he was able to like make his life do a full 180 and he was like it was serious though. It wasn't like this is who I'm gonna be for the public. Like, nah, he really died about that. Like he was yeah.
Yeah,
So it showed me like, okay, you can do a bunch of heinous stuff and still turn around and be one of the most important people on the planet like that ever walked.
bro. Like no matter how far you go into the dark, once you turn to the light, you right there.
And nothing can
That's the
stop
power of
it.
light. That like light is endless. And energy don't die, it transfers. It
Right.
cannot be created or destroyed. It's
Right.
always here. So it's like the books are our gateway back to the energies that were here.
Yep.
Like when you read about Frederick Douglass, this man is learning how to read like that's gangster. Like
Yeah.
a slave learning how to read was gangster. And people don't
Yeah.
understand that. Like, oh, they just was what was slavery? Like you dumb if you don't really pay attention. Look at the portraits of him when he's taking these pictures. In that
Yeah.
time period, where they literally are treating black men and women like animals.
Yeah.
Like you're on paper as a third of a person.
And not to cut
You
you
good,
off,
good,
but
get busy.
I got in like this. It wasn't heated because that's my boy, and we go back and forth about stuff. But City one day was like, "Yo, would you have rather lived in the civil rights era or during the slavery era?" And he said he would have chose being a slave.
Mm.
And I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" He like, "Yeah, because you know the slaves they was they eating chicken and they had like 18 kids, so they was fucking good." And like that's why I said like I thought he
City
was
ignorant.
yeah, like I thought he was joking, but he was like, "Nah, I'm dead serious." And I'm like, okay, if that's the case, like you making slavery sound like a vacation, bro. Let's add all the other stuff on top of it. Like,
Mm.
you gotta worry about the master coming in, raping your wife in front of you. Then your wife had that baby. Then he sell that baby and your wife. Then he might mutilate your genitals to like, emasculate you even more.
Mutilate your
Then
genitals.
after that, you get whipped to death. Then he cut your head off and put on a
They
fence
rape
post.
men too.
Yeah,
That's the part they don't even.
so then he put your head on a fence post so that all the other slaves know, like, all right, well, if I try to run away, this was gonna happen. And again, City is my boy. Like, it wasn't like anything like heated at all. And like that's my like if you know him, he's just a hilarious person.
Yeah, City makes some
Like,
fun. We all see that interview. If I
like,
gotta, we gonna have to do some edits. But
like,
that's joint.
bro, he might be the funniest person I ever met. But it was like when I started thinking about it, I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, let's really talk about
Let's sit
this.
with it. Let's sit
Yeah.
a little longer with that thought.
Yeah. But like I said, nah, like, his friends go back and forth about stuff. And again,
Mm,
he's the most hilarious person you probably ever gonna meet. But yeah, that was just like an interesting thing I wanted to talk about.
mm.
Um I forgot how he even got there, but
No,
yeah.
I like that you brought that up though, because when I talked to City, we spoke about like steel sharpening or steel iron sharpening iron. Like it's like you gotta have your thought challenged.
Right.
It's even for me. Like I still gotta challenge myself if others don't challenge me, and people still challenge me. Like
Yeah.
somebody posted earlier because I said I'm living in my dream. They say you're living in God's vision. I was like, thank you for that. I'm living in
Mm.
God's vision. That's heavier than my dream, because my dream is subject to change. My dream is contingent on where the world at. God vision?
Bro.
Bro, we living in God's vision.
Bro, on top of that, let me kick something to you. So, you know, my boy Ryan, I was talking to him about something. I was like, yeah, you know, I love my girl to death. He was like, nah, stop. You love you to death. And I was like, ooh, that's a bar. That's a bar
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
And this is the part, because that was the first episode of this joint. Me first.
Mm-hmm.
And I say me first, and I used to feel uncomfortable saying it. Like,
Yeah.
it don't feel comfortable having that conversation with most people. I put myself first. What?
Yeah.
I put myself first so I can show up for the people I love better. If I'm putting myself anywhere behind anything else, that's a problem. It's God, me, family.
Yeah.
Them friends, anything else, but it's like all them other parts, I fill out. They fill in the blanks. It's like if I'm right with my family, if I'm right with my faith, I'm right with my friends, my finances, my fitness, and that's Business Secrets of the Bible. Daniel Lippin, I forget his name, but it was a good book. I read, brothers read. So it's just so much, and I say it's so much to be had. It's so much that we have. It's so much that we're having.
Yeah.
And this is just constantly a process of trial, error, and growth. It's like if where you start is where you finish, there's a problem.
Yep.
You start, and if it's going great, you still got to test it. You still got to check it, because your pride can have you blinded to the errors.
Bro, so speaking, it's like we really bouncing off each other right here. But yo, so speaking on that, as far as the music thing, I asked my my friends, and like I'm like, yo, we've been doing music for a while, but do y'all feel like you're actively trying to get better? Like not just having something pop up and you like, oh, that worked, but like, are you actively pushing yourself?
Is it intentional?
Exactly.
It's
Like, are you
intentional.
actively saying, how can I take this to the next level? Because see, as a creative, a lot of times the whole vibe is, yo, don't force this. But at the same time, it's like, why not? Like, let's push the
Absolutely.
boundaries, because that's how new like waves get created, because we push the line. You know what I mean? So like with myself, and you know me, like when I rap. Like I rap. Like that's what I love to do.
Lyrics,
And you also know that like I can make songs that's like sound like other genres and stuff. So I'm like, okay, when it's like a rap song, I rarely make a chorus. And I'm like, it's not necessary in this climate, but I want to do it just to see if I can. Like again, like we said earlier, like I just try to do what I can and see if I can do it.
That's the part.
You know?
But it's like that constant evolution. I spoke about that with Chris. I'm
Mhm.
like, we evolving. Like that man was Perp Gotti. That
Yeah.
man was Chris Gadget, Six Bricks. It's like
Yeah.
the evolutions and the different monikers we go by, or the different things we call ourselves. Like I've been sitting with like, yo, I am a king. Yo, I
Yeah.
am a man. I'm a
Yeah.
leader. I am disciplined. I
Yeah.
am these things. And it's wild because that's what separates doing and trying. I keep coming
Yeah.
back to these concepts.
Yeah.
If I say I'm trying to be a leader, what it look like to try to be a leader? It
Yeah.
look like foolishness.
Yo, let me
It look like falling short.
let me speak on that. Let me pull up this note that I made.
Mm.
Let me see.
This
This
is a
was the
nice
top
move.
of. Come on, man. Where's this thing at? Who am I? Let me see. All right, I'm gonna have to type in and search it because it's a good joint.
But
Who am All right, boom. So I got a note that says, "Who am I in this chapter?" Then I got a part that says, "Who I am not." And
mm,
so the thing that I said I'm not, because that's more important than who I am, because once you figure out who you're not, you can focus on who you are. That's how it goes in my mind
real
anyway.
talk.
So I said I'm not the superhero that saves everyone. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a show off. I'm not the about to man. I'm not an
Mhm.
announcer. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a self-loathing person. I'm not someone who doesn't trust their gut. I'm not timid, and I'm not the barbershop has been. Like, bro, bro, bro.
Yo, one of the joints I did that'll probably come out before this is I wanted to but didn't is one of the saddest lines ever spoken. I wanted
Bro,
to but I didn't.
bro.
Cause whatever. You finish that off. You fill in them blanks.
Yo,
It's not finna be a statement I make moving forward. I wanted to, I did.
yo,
I wanted to and I got busy.
yo.
I,
So, like, speaking on that, bro, like, that's the one thing that's non-negotiable about my life.
Big facts.
I am not going to say when I look back, like, yo, I almost did it.
You
No,
almost,
no, it is do
yo,
or
I almost
die.
had shorty for real.
Yeah.
Either you had or you didn't, bro.
It's like, bro, you've been wanting this thing your whole life, and you gonna like look back and say you almost did it? Yeah, right.
Nah, not by a long shot, not by a short shot. Like no,
Like
it's for real.
I
We
don't
get
even know.
into it.
I don't even know if I let you hear this song, but like in the song, I say, it'd be a shame to die with all of this potential in me. Living like I'm one of y'all was only limiting me. Felt like if I ain't conform to the norm, they be passing me up. But I'm just me. The game gonna have to adjust. Ain't no beauty in blending in when you built by God. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, that's just what's on my mind lately, yo. Like I got
So when it's
two.
dropping.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like I got too much potential to just be like, nah, I'm gonna let this rock. But on the same token, right there, right? That's one of the most dangerous words on like in the English
Potential.
language. Yes,
Yep.
potential is
Potential
a
energy ain't no energy at all.
exactly,
Because it
bro.
don't exist. If it don't
Exactly,
come into the space, it's gone. It
exactly.
dissipates. That's the part that's the part that's difficult to deal with is like, that's why the vision, it gotta be molded properly in darkness. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I did so many of these before I started dropping them.
Yeah,
Because I had to birth it in darkness. I couldn't have nobody telling me what I should be doing as I'm in the
yeah,
process. Because when
exactly,
you bring it to the light, a lot of people's conception of it is based on just their limiting beliefs.
exactly.
So if you got to beat your limiting beliefs and theirs,
Mhm.
what do that look like? A
Right,
pregnant woman amongst naysayers and people that don't believe people should have children, or like that's a stress that nobody deserves. So it's
right.
like we are creating something, we're creating constantly, and it's like I got no time for people saying what can't be done, what shouldn't. Did you think
Yeah,
about this? It's like no, I'm not sitting with that right now. I'm actually building, and
right.
that's why I kept saying like when you're in the process of doing,
Yeah.
you're in the process of creating something, you don't know what to call it. You just make it, and then then you title it.
And
Like,
bro, what's crazy is as far as you said, like birthing things in the darkness, my boy Great Dane, he posted something on Twitter. It was like, this might be my favorite bar of like the decade, yo. He said, when you do things right, people think you're not doing anything at all.
bro, if I could explain that, that's literally my life. Like
Bro.
this, people don't know what it take to do this.
Yeah.
Like they don't got no conception of it. It's just
Yeah.
he's just doing something.
Right.
I'm just doing something.
Right.
Like if they understood the people I've talked to because I'm doing this,
Right.
not only the people that I bring on, but the people that speak to me when about what they see.
Right.
So it's like you got to talk to people that understand value more than
Right.
anything. That's
Right.
why it's like even when I say often, don't take your problems to people who can't steward your emotions. Don't take things to unlicensed therapists. Don't take
Mm-hmm.
business to employees.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take these things to people that don't understand what you're speaking, because no matter what, you're gonna sound crazy. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot make sense to somebody who has no conception of what you are talking about.
Right.
So it's like a lot of what we're leaning into, like even the early music that I did, nobody has a conception of a Baltimore artist that's singing and rapping.
Right.
Dude, what you trying to be, Drake? You
Right.
don't look. You're not light skinned.
Al-
You're not rich. Like
Also, I'll say, like asking for advice is deadly. And what I'll say on that though is like, if you asking, you know, hold on real quick, cause this is Jonathan Wells. Let me put him on speaker, see what he talking about. Hey, bro, you on national television? What's up?
you're
I'm with Keith on this podcast, but you want to say something to the people?
Good. LFMB, less funerals, more birthdays, we live forever.
Yes.
Survive Wednesday, treat, stay silent, stay positive. 10:45 live forever records. I'm out of breath of shit. You had back up here. You need to call you back after you done.
Yeah, hit me. I'm gonna hit you when I'm done, bro.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah. Major.
But yeah. So like,
Major
that's
shout
my
out.
bro right there.
Major
You
shout
understand
out.
what I'm saying? But what was I getting at? Advice.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's the
if
one.
you gonna ask for advice, it's cool to ask for advice like on some like, yo, should I wear these shoes or like give me a good spot to eat at? But when you start saying, yo, should I stay with my wife? Like, bro, life advice, that's something you gotta deal with, bro, because
Yeah.
like I said in one of my other songs, I'm like, what? No 2 days are alike, but every day seem the same. See, day to day, nothing different. Then you look up and everything changed. They told you be realistic, so you ain't follow your dreams. And now you locked in the system. Shit wasn't smart as it seemed. So watch who you take advice from, because the ones who give it never die from the situation that you going through. That was my mistake, so I'm warning you. The quickest way to get a dream killed is to talk to folks who never had one. Quickest way to lose everything is to fuck with people that never had nothing. Like, yo, you gotta.
The quickest way to lose anything is
Yo,
to fuck with people who never had nothing.
you feel me?
I need y'all to wake up with that in the front of your mind.
Like, bro.
Watch who you give your time to.
Bro.
Watch who you give your energy to.
Big facts.
It is major, bro.
Big
like
facts.
when my brain then went, yeah, like that's the one.
Bro.
Cause bro, the advice is coming from an advisor.
Right.
An advisor must be checked. You have to have multiple advisors. There's an advisory board.
And for
because
different reasons.
One opinion isn't solid enough to guide things forward. And it goes beyond advisory boards. It ends up in the hands of critics. Ends up in the hands of what the people feel. All of these different things have an input for a reason. Everything isn't valid, though. I'm not taking advice from basement dwellers who don't go outside.
There you go.
What's the beach like? From a dude who's only seeing it on Windows Vista laptops.
There you go.
Like, that don't work for me.
And, not my bad to cut you off again, but it's one thing I wanted to like.
It's hurt.
One thing I wanted to salute you for also is like back to the advice thing, like going with your gut also, because I remember we was trying to start a podcast. I'm like, bro, we gotta find a place to do it, blah, 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 blah. And it got complicated and we never put it out. You said, yo, I'm gonna get these mics, get in the car, and that's what it's gonna be. And like, bro, this is beautiful because it's organic and it's working. And to see where it might go from here is insane. You know what I mean? So like, yo, take advice if you want to, but your gut is going to tell you which way you're supposed to go in life. Like Steve Jobs always said, follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know who you really want to be in life. Bro?
Now, I'm going to say this too. This is where it get complex. The people that's in mainstream not going to tell you it's God. They're not going to tell you they got a faith that they believe in it. Because to put it in that context stops dollars. If I say I believe in Jesus, if I say I believe in Buddha, if I say I believe in Allah, if I say I believe in these different religions, if I say I believe in something that direct is problematic for people.
Right.
I believe in love. I believe in non-judgment. I believe in patience. I believe in trust. I believe in community. I believe in unity and oneness. That shows up in many religions. I do not deny the existence of Christ. I do not deny the existence of anyone that is put into a sacred text. Because I have no purpose in that. I get nothing from telling you your belief is invalid. I know what I believe in, though. That's what I have for myself. So I'm saying that to say we are a conduit and we are bringing through all types of energies. That is why I said protect the energy. Protect the positive energy that you're allowed to hold. Because it's so easy to be on the opposite end of that spectrum. And we both have been there. In ways where it was not visible to see these visions that we have in this moment. This vision that I keep saying, this godly vision that we live within, was not a conception. 7 years ago, I got a diagnosis.
Okay.
And I'm not going to speak on I got a diagnosis that I do not honor. because it was a power greater than me that would not let that be my end.
Mm-hmm.
And I have people going through it right now, getting those same messages. And to you, it is not your end. You are more powerful than you know. That's actually our greatest fear, that we will be successful beyond what we imagine. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm left to my own understanding of what this doesn't happen. Because my own understanding said, yo, you got a podcast though. My own understanding said, yo, where you going to get bread from? How you going to leave the school? If I was still working at that school, I would not be out here at 8 o'clock doing a podcast with my brother to tell the world about the dope shit he does. I'll be in the fucking house waiting for work tomorrow. So I'm telling y'all, if you got a dream, go chase it by any means. And I say by any means necessary. You are gonna die.
Facts.
You are gonna die.
Like,
that is not a lie.
like
That is all. That's the one truth that exists.
And so
that's the number one truth.
Like, bro, I hate to keep cutting, but it's like, yo,
get it,
yo,
get it. Because I'll be running.
on that note, yo, a lot of, and this is, I'm guilty of it also. A lot of rappers or whatever, or artists, creatives in general, people that got something they want to do with their life, they hate to promote on social media because they're like, yo, I don't want to annoy nobody. Bro, let me tell you something. When you about to die, because we've both been about to die, literally. Like, we both know what it's like to be on your deathbed. And it's like, yo, when you on your deathbed, you're not thinking about who you annoyed. You thinking about, like, I'm just going to be glad if I can stay here.
And the only ones thinking about you annoying them was fuck niggas to begin with.
Exactly. They didn't belong in the first place. So, you know, like you said about we gonna die one day, you gotta take care of and, you know, embrace your dreams. Like, again, I was trying to run away from it. My mother said, you know, I had a situation that I don't feel like getting into right now. But my mother said when I came back to consciousness in the hospital, the first thing I said was, yo, this gonna make my mixtape crazy. Like, bro, she said, yeah, like, like my mother said I didn't even recognize who she was, but I'm talking about a mixtape.
Yeah.
That says something. You know what I mean?
It's the base instinct. Where you are with nothing is who you are.
Exactly.
And I say that to say more, like I always say, it's people that's wishing for $1 million. They wishing for this big expansion. I want to be the boss. But it's like the way you are as an employee shows me who you'll be when you in power.
Yeah.
You the one gossiping about it. You the leader of the gossip circle.
Yeah.
So you gonna be the one that's doing the rules harder than you have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, such and such showed up late. You the same one who gonna be making the mandatory like policies to stop late, like whatever else. So if you have motives that are disingenuous, ulterior motives, problematic behaviors in this setting, wherever you are, getting an increase will only amplify your problematic behaviors, and getting those things under control in a positive, healthy way is so necessary.
Yeah.
Isolation, separation for elevation.
Yep.
Separation for elevation. Working in numbers. Together, everything. What was it? Together, everyone achieves more.
Yeah.
Saving yourself time, energy, and money. Win, team, and systems. I'm loving these acronyms. Finish another important lesson. We gotta recreate these acronyms. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Everybody don't want to play with that one. They said, "What was that brother talking about?" But never ignorant, getting goals accomplished daily, getting out our dreams, living, getting busy. It's like, constantly in a space of how do we evolve? How do we get better? How do I get better? How do I find a way to give more? Because that's all that's what this experience has been like. That's what's been more impactful for me. That's what's been more enriching. That's what's fed my spirit. And then I've seen how it's impacted others. So I just I don't want to use certain words. I don't want to be self-righteous. I don't want to be in that space of like I don't got issues, because I definitely love some trap music, and I definitely was a fan of some sites that my mama don't want me speaking on. But I'm saying that to say nobody's perfect, and I keep coming back to this too. Ideas, not idols. If
Mm.
Malcolm X's mission died with him, that's a problem. If Nipsey's marathon dies with him, that's a problem. If Pac says all that he said and stood for, and it died with him, that's a problem. Barack Obama's not the president no more. Is done. We not trying to be excellent no more. Black excellence is stuck within idol. Come on, man. That's why I'm outside. That's why I miss the motion, because
Yes,
I have
sir.
ideas, and ideas are outside with the people.
Yes, sir.
We not going for that. So it's like, don't ever idolize me. Be grateful that we are all a guy from a place, bro. I don't care if you know who I am, bro.
And
I might get ducked off and just not be here no more, just hide
bro,
for like
and
6 months after.
that don't idolize your thing is important, because a lot of people look at others and be like, yo, I want to get like them. But you see the outside looking in, bro.
Right? You know what it
Like,
take to be this,
yeah,
brother?
like you don't see that, 5 years ago I was eating Skittles for dinner, bro. Like, you don't see that. All you see is what's going on right now.
Bro.
And that's how the game go, but it's like, man.
If they knew. And the power of digital formats is they can know. Because I had videos of me speaking and I was stuttering. I had videos of me with the fat face and no hairline. I had videos with wrinkled shirts, still thinking I was sexy. It's for the ladies. I still thought I was that guy, you understand? But my external was not matching. My energy was there, but the external wasn't matching, and I found ways to work so the external matched my inner being. The inner energy gotta expand so much that it comes out of you. So it's like when people are sitting with, yo, how you do that? I don't think about how. I just do it. Like, I need a Nike sponsorship, because shout out to Phil Knight. I love that book. It's like this man goes on a journey. He go from Portland, Oregon to Japan. Don't speak the language. Making negotiations off lies, low key. Like, he just happened to be out there hiking one day. Like a lot of random events to get to this point where it's like, yo, I can get y'all to manufacture these sneakers and send them, and I'm literally just doing it, and everything that's like motion is making more motion. It's just like this dude was an accountant. Like, he had this accountant who ran track in college. So it's like when I hear origin stories, even Damon John, like, he had sewing machines in his New York apartment.
That's a tough one.
Like Damon John, like these guys, these people that have great outcomes, is like, y'all gotta go back to the foundation. Like, it's people that want to do trig and don't got their building blocks together. Like Michael Jordan, bro. His older brother used to beat him. He didn't make what, freshman, or was it sophomore?
He didn't make varsity, I think, in his or freshman year.
Yeah, like he was not expected to be who he was. And this is an even wilder part. Everybody talk about his championships. He was in the late 80s too. Y'all know that, right? Like, getting beat down by the Pistons.
So
like, back to back.
Bro, it's amazing that you say that, because I was looking up his stats this morning, and then I stumbled across something else. So, Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. Okay, cool. He missed a lot of stuff also. But, Kobe, right, who was also considered one of the greatest to ever play the game, do you know he missed 14,481 shots and is still a legend? Crazy. Michael Jordan missed, I believe, like, 9,000, or it might have been 12,000 shots. But it's like, put that into perspective next time you scared to put, your numbers up and see what's going to happen.
Throw it up. Take that shot, man.
Because all that matters is that one.
Man, I wish I screenshotted the DMs where I got dubbed, because them shutters and ran back and liked the pics, and followed again, and then been in the story consecutively. Hi. How you doing, sweetheart? It's so nice to see you again. I just be outside and stuff. Mr. Bipper, Mr. Motion. I love you. Your mama love you too. But it's like, it's so amazing how God has the greatest vengeance. It's so amazing how the word is what it is and will always be what it is. And he can try to redraft it. But
so I wanted to speak on what you said as far as God having the greatest vengeance. Is because we all his children. I don't think it's vengeance, but I heard a quote that said, arrogance invites correction. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't necessarily say it's vengeance, but it's discipline. Because like I hate when people say that, oh, God don't play about me. Like if you believe in God, then you can't say things like that because that would mean he don't play about nobody. So just say that, you're getting put into a better place because he understands that you need something different, and the person that has had that transgression against you needs something different as
Absolutely.
well. But when you say things like God don't play about me, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like you blocking your future blessings because now you're being arrogant.
Now, I will say this. This is where it gets problematic for a lot of folks. Where does your forgiveness lie? Bless everybody. Bless the job that didn't work for me. Bless the enemies. Bless the people who punched me in the stomach. Bless the brother who hit me in the head with the brick. Bless the folks who hit the car and drove off. Bless them. Because, as I said, everything is for the betterment. Bless it all because it deserves to be blessed. And if it wasn't happening, I would not be possible. Bless the night that I ended up in a space I shouldn't have been and was stuck in that space. Bless it. Because if I look back on it with bitterness, if I look back on it with contentment, I mean not contentment, but I hate that. Like with the negativity, I'm denying this present moment, bro. Like I would have no idea that I could do any of this if I didn't go through Hood's class at CCBC.
Right.
I wouldn't have been in Hood's class if it wasn't for somebody giving me a bad grade and the riots in Baltimore. Like
Right.
all of these different moments that I was so mad about when they were happening. And it was all external. It
Right.
wasn't really within me.
Right.
But these external things pushing me in different directions. And it's like, oh, so I could just use logic. Oh, so the difference between a condenser, dynamic mic, and whatever else mic. Oh, and the cardioid pattern. And no, brothers is doing this, but they don't really have to. And we all doing whatever it may be, right?
Right.
I don't need a pop. I don't need that. Like finding these different things out. I found them out because I ended up in spaces based on what like this, just a constant energy. And it's like, I say more than anything, forgiveness, letting go, acceptance, non-judgment, trust, patience, non-striving, beginner's mind. Every day we wake is a new beginning. Whatever happened the day before is what happened the day before, but you had the opportunity to hit up somebody you haven't talked to in a long time and tell them you love them. You had the opportunity to make somebody smile on your way to work. You had the opportunity to not rush to work, maybe get there at a time that worked for you and the other people that's driving there.
Yep.
We have so many opportunities to give light every day we rise.
And I think the most important one you said in that list though is patience, because these things that you're speaking on don't come overnight. That
At all.
that mind shift. Hold on, what?
The perspective.
Yeah, that mindset shift. It takes time, man. It takes
Yeah.
time. So be patient with others. Most importantly, be patient with yourself. Like I said something yesterday that I realized that in regards to being patient with yourself is that how you treat yourself when you're at your lowest low is more important than how other people treat you when you're at your lowest low. Because even if you at rock bottom, you should know, like, hey, I'm still a person with a lot of potential. I'm still a person capable of everything I thought I was when I was at the top, And it's easy to say when you in a, the right headspace. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy to say, but it's something that you can learn. That's what I'll say. So it's not something impossible. And just work on that. Like even if you're having a bad 5 minutes at work, or you know, you get your hair messed up and you're like, oh man, I look like trash. No,
As a
just,
moment.
thug it out and remind yourself that you still the same person, because nobody that matters is gonna look at you different. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And so with that being said, whenever you think you falling behind in life or not on the right track, who are you trying to impress?
That's the part. That's the biggest part. Is moments.
Right.
Everything's a moment. Even your greatness is a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever think that you entitled to
Right.
what you have. That's the
Right.
arrogance.
Right.
What you think this supposed to be. When you get to your pole to be, you need to take a break. Go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
Cause you wilding. Like, it is all better when we sit with the momentary aspect of it. The patience allows you to recognize that. Because when we trying to speed up the process and force it, like this is something that's moving quick for me.
Yeah.
Right? This is something that's moving quick in a way that it's like, yo, I gotta really be on a swivel. But I wouldn't have it if I didn't had the patience to do the things I did preemptively.
Yeah.
And like it's a lot of tools that I'm calling on consistently. It's still a lot of life going on.
Yeah.
Like it's family things going on. It's things that I want for myself. I'm getting older. I'll be 27. And like I'm getting to a point where it's like I got some goals that I would like to accomplish in a whatever scope. But then it's like, bro, but you got breath in your lungs. But you free. But you woke up healthy. But you are in a space that you couldn't see yourself in. And it's by the grace of God. It's by the hands that helped you up. I wouldn't have no idea that like I could do a lot of things if you weren't here. If Chris Cash wasn't here, my mama, my father, my uncles, my aunts. It's like I would rather get a light to everybody around me than for people to congratulate me. It's like bring everybody to help me on the stage. Let's have a party for them. Yeah. Because it's like Marquis, this guy is not possible without his brother and sister critiquing him every step of the way. It's not possible without the homegirl that he meets who just like don't be a don't do this. Think more about this. Switch your perspective. Like I still get checked. I get checked more than I get praise.
And that's important. That's important, bro.
It's that balance.
And I be wishing people would check me more. Like even with my girl, like she always like, well, I don't want to nag or be problematic. But in a relationship, I prefer to fight. Not saying not saying that we need to argue about everything, but if it's something on your mind, I'm not scared to fight you because that way we don't have anything spilling over 6 months from now. And it's like, oh well, I just think it's funny how back in 7th grade you told XYZ that you liked it and you wanted to go on a field trip and hold her hands, and now we 27 years old and I'm mad about it. Like,
and that's the part that's it's inauthenticity. Nice is problematic when it's dishonest. So one of my virtues and the thing I say a lot is truth, and truth can be difficult to manage at times because sometimes we like, oh, this truth might hurt them, but this is what I sit with whenever I gotta give out truth or do some things that feel like they'll hurt somebody. The people that love you correct you. Love is correction. Love is acceptance. Love is unconditional. There is no condition that I can show up in and certain people won't love me. Certain people. A lot of people say love. The people who truly love me don't tell me they love me as much as the people who don't.
Bars.
I'm going to tag that one for real. Yeah. The people who truly love me don't tell me they love me as much as the people. Wait, what did I say? Who don't? The people who don't. People who truly love me don't tell me they love me as much as the people who don't. People who love me don't got to keep reminding me. Their actions show me. Their truth show me. The way they show up in my life shows me. And I got to remind myself of what love is. Because like I said, the world can distract you. You really, when you after something, you don't need to add more to it. You don't got to find some new workout plan. You don't got to go meditate for 7 hours. You don't got to go on a yoga journey retreat. You got to find ways to limit the distractions.
If it ain't broke, don't break it.
Facts. What's taking your energy? You know too much about Shade Room. You know more about Shade Room than you know about yourself. And no disrespect to that media outlet. Like, it's another thing that's working, right? Yeah. But we know more about others than we know about ourselves, and that's a problem. Yeah. That's a major problem.
Yes, sir.
So, man.
My brain has been picked. This is a lot of thought provoking.
Oh, but this is gonna be another one within the journey. And what I love about these are they are journal entries. I get to do a journal live with people who made an impact on my life, who make an impact on the lives of others, make impacts on people I love as well. So it's like when I'm able to do this is something for me later. I went back and watched some of my early joints today just because I was like, I'm like 40 episodes in. And I still got joints on tuck. So like when I'm sitting with like, even when did this come out? It could be next week or it could be the week after. But it's like, what can it be? It can be a lot of things because that's what a guy from a place is. A lot of things.
There you go.
Like I said, it's just grateful to be able to hold space with people who make spaces that need to be known about and need to be grown. Like we all are planting seeds in some type of way, from Kane to Marquis Standback, Daily Growth Yoga, Namaste with Nay, Daily Growth Yoga, Demetrius Lancaster with Joy Education, Trinice Brown, Miss Trinice and Mama T, Hold It Down to the City Neighbors Charter School, my brother Scotty Banx here, on the production, on the songwriting, on the engineering. I can't. I don't got enough fingers for all of this. I might drop the mic while I'm talking, and then y'all gonna hear the rest. We got John Wells. We got City. We got Chris Cashes, and we got so many people just doing work. We got True from True Relations. We got Ron the Don with the game plan. C Boogie Productions with Stress City Wellness. We got I'm gonna say we got. It's just so many people. Shout out Sacred House MD. Shout out like all of these different spaces, and it's still growing, and it's gonna be community. And like I said, ideas not idols. Community has unity because we're one. And we got to remember that. We giving out grace. But we also giving accountability. Right? Give me the grace, but hold me accountable as well. Don't try to hold me too accountable, because y'all be confusing the word. Y'all start judging and shaming. Shame ain't working in this decade, right? Like shame is what it is. But the thing is, like, where's it coming from? Because sometimes you say, I'm correcting them so you can feel better. So you can feel like you better. That's not correction. That's a little more arrogance. But as I said, man, we in a space to be. You know, there's a lot of motion, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of love. And I'm grateful for this man right here.
Grateful for you too, bro.
Bro, major. Look, I was like, brother, a man post one time back in my day when Instagram was doing what it did, the algorithm was wild and I didn't understand it. There was this brother who just kept posting stuff with suits on, talking about houses. So this brother posting stuff about suits on and stuff, and he say, "Hey man, if anybody want to learn about real estate or just have a conversation about it, just let me know." And I was like, "Hey man, that sound kind of cool what you talking about." I was watching a brother named John Maxwell. I was watching some wholesalers back then. You know, I got caught in that YouTube loop. You know, I was just going and watching, and I said, "Hey brother, what's up? Hey, I love to talk. Let's talk." So we're talking, and end up meeting him in person, and this man had a Rolodex of numbers and names that he was calling to ask that they want to sell their house or ask if they were looking to buy properties, and it was a data list, right? Just long data list. And I said, this brother is methodical. And then we started talking about dreams and ambitions, and then he told me his origin story. I said, dang, that ain't too far from mine. It's just a lot of life, a lot of moments. And I've had moments. We took some L's. We took some L's. We gained some lessons in life. A lot of the visions that we had, they came true, and we continuing to just build and give. And I hope y'all living the way you want to live, because when you do, everybody is happy and here. But I'm gonna stop here, Steven. Bro, I am a guy from a place. Charm City Bipper, Quis The Vndl. Marquis is a name that my mama gave me. I'm here with Scotty Banx, Jamal Scott.
Scottavius Bankswell III. Scottavius Maximilian Bankswell.
One day made bad as many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that that's unfair. The joy I've been given is best when shared. Visionaries never die. Legends survive through the seeds we sow daily. We get better with time. Peace, prosperity, many, many blessings. Go love on somebody. Love on yourself. Power.
I remember one time I was in therapy. This was like when I first realized I dealt with anxiety and depression and whatnot. And I was talking to my therapist about anxiety, and he was telling me, like, the thing about anxiety is if you're in a room full of people, nobody knows you're dealing with anxiety except you. And it really stuck with me. I think too much about if I think too much, and then I think about what other people think too much.